Rocky Road?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yes, we are live. And yeah, so the reason why we were starting a little bit late is kind of funny, actually. So, and
hysterical.
You know, yes, it is hysterical.
Yeah.
And you guys are going to like it. It's pretty funny. I'm going to say, here's Mooch, but the actual problem was Mooch, all right? So if you guys didn't know, he just built a $50 million PC.
Yes. It's actually keeping me afloat right now.
Yes. And, you know, he built it sarcastically so that he built it sarcastically. He's got this great what is that, a 20-something Ti or something?
2080 Ti.
Yes. So he's got this really good PC that he built up right now. And basically he's using it so he can do content on his channel, which I've been telling him he should be doing for a long time now.
This is true.
And so he goes, hey, Crap, send me a link so I can join in and make sure my headset and everything works. Send it early. So, because I usually send it about 5 minutes before showtime. And I was like, okay. So I sent it to him 10 minutes. He shows up 2 minutes before showtime, and then he sounds like Mikey Barra.
Well, first of all, that's a compliment. No, but here's my thing. So here's the whole thing. Situation crap. So I did say send the link early. Here's what's funny. The minute I go to, you got to keep in mind, guys, I am coming from the world of Apple, and I'm not leaving Apple. I still have my iMac. But realistically, iMac, when you have a Mac product, you're going to all of a sudden use Safari. Is it not working?
No, it's working great.
Because I can't tell with Crap giggling.
No.
But anyways, so like with the Safari, with the whole thing going on there, Safari just takes it right away. That's not. He goes, wait, that's Mooch. That's funny as hell in the chat. It's so funny. But like, no, but I don't know for some reason this didn't take it. I guess that worked. Look with the voice, it's not working.
Hold on, I'm gonna die here.
Mushy, you have a little bass in your voice, sir. I don't know what's happening.
It's all about that bass.
It's all
taking testosterone pill.
Yeah, Mooch is he's doing it.
I don't know, he fixed it, and then now it's kind of like kind of weird.
No.
Rip off Mooch, off-brand Mooch.
Looks like you guys are going free tonight. I'm gonna work it out and see what I can do.
Okay. I'm dying here. I can't breathe. Okay. A lot of ponies might get their wish. Finally, Crapgamer goes out laughing at Mooch. What a way to go. I never thought it'd end like that, folks. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, so we've got Salty back. What's up, man? Welcome back. Glad to have you here, man.
Oh my God, I can't believe how funny it was at pregame. I'm loving being back, guys. I didn't have internet. I just moved. I feel like I've been living in a cave for a while. I haven't been able to make content, and all this good, news has been coming out. It's just like I'm an addict. I'm like, I need to make a video, but I haven't been able to. It's good to be back, though.
It sucks though, it doesn't it? Like a lot of people go, "Oh man, you must enjoy a break when you don't do a video." I'm like, you know what? I like when stuff breaks, I want to do a video. That's the first thing I think about, and I enjoy doing that. So it does suck when you get used to it, and people get used to you doing certain content, and then you can't. You kind of get that itch. And so, yeah, I'm glad that you're back, and it should be a good show.
Yes, sir.
We also got Foxy here. How you doing, Foxy? I'm
okay, hanging in there, feeling pretty. I had to mute myself a couple of times just because I was laughing and like dying over here. But yeah, what's up? I miss you guys. Glad to see Salty back. Hopefully, Master Race Mooch back in here too. That'll be nice.
Yeah, I mean, he's that Mooch, man. I'm so happy that he decided to fix up a computer and do all this stuff right before Xbox Nation. I mean, what a brilliant guy. What a brilliant
move. Plan.
Yes, he does. That is extremely.
What's up, everybody in the chat? Hit that like button.
Yeah, everybody. Hey, hit the like button. Share it out. Get all that kind of good stuff going because there is a lot of stuff to talk about. And don't worry, Mooch will be back in here in a second. It'll all be good. Trust me.
He's just taking a vape, guys. He'll be back.
Yeah, he was pulling an Xbot. So I mean, he'll be he'll be back in a second. Yeah. So actually, there is a lot of stuff to actually talk about. Hey, first things first, we might as well talk about Microsoft and Obsidian Entertainment. This was an interesting thing because months ago, I think we were talking about. I know I've done videos on it before. That Microsoft was wanting to buy more studios. I know that this isn't like a super sexy studio, but the interesting thing that this studio can do is they have a lot of of experience doing like the PC stuff and console stuff. They've had smaller budget games come out. They just did Pillars of Eternity 2, which is a 89 rated RPG on Metacritic right now. So that would be a huge get. I think they have over 150 employees. That would be a that would be pretty sweet. You know what I mean? That's a great addition to a stable of exclusives. But the funny thing is this is one that we heard that there was a letter of intent a little bit ago. Actually, people in the chat still talking about Mooch.
Crazy.
He'll be right back, and it'll sound fine. Trust me. You guys shouldn't have said anything, and he would have never known, and it would have been hilarious.
You were giggling.
Yes, I was trying not to.
I try to keep it in, guys.
I would have composed myself for sure. I would have been like, I would have keep it together for sure. But yeah, so they have a lot of employees there. I feel like that is a very solid studio pickup. The letter of intent was apparently signed a while ago. Now, the interesting thing is, I think that this is a bit of a smokescreen for other studios as well. Because if you remember, the letter of intent for Playground Games came out before E3. So everybody's like, oh man, they're going to get Playground. And then they swerved us with these other ones as well.
No surprise.
I think I've heard multiple other rumors for other studios that they're going to be possibly, to bring it on as well. Now, those aren't as big. Yes, but those aren't as big, but still very interesting. And I think, Microsoft definitely, getting all the studios, like here's the thing. And I've said this for a long time. Microsoft doesn't look at Sony or Nintendo really as their competitors. They look at, Google, Apple, Amazon. Those are their competitors. And so, Google probably is going to want to get some developers sooner or later. And Microsoft doesn't want them to really be able to pick up some of these developers, because, that would be bad. So it's good to see Microsoft kind of be proactive here.
If they buy them all, there's not going to be much left, there'll be slim pickings. So I think it's interesting to look out there on social media and see the reaction of this news. And some people are like, oh, Obsidian, they don't own their own IPs and all this other stuff. It's like, oh, their history. It's like in the past, because Knights of the Old Republic 2, that was a while ago, and some of the other games that they were working on. But I think this is fantastic news. If you look at like the potential of making a new Fable, what other team would be good to work on an RPG than this team? I mean, that's what they do. That's what they're known for. That's what they're good at. And there's been some kind of rumors back and forth about Playground. Are they going to make Fable? Are they making some other new game? And I think the more hires, the better. Like the track record's there. Like you list off the names, and it's some good stuff out there. What Fallout New Vegas? That was the cream of the crop right there.
A lot of people love that. Yeah. So. A lot of people love Fallout New Vegas. What do you think, Foxy?
Actually, that's the first thing I heard when people were talking about them buying this. They were like, "Ooh, what about Fallout? They could bring, they could do another part to that or something." I think it would be cool as long as. I don't know about the whole Fable, like linking them with Fable, but for them to be acquiring them and making an action adventure game and an RPG game, that would be good because we need those over on the Xbox, and I want some action adventure, to be honest. So I know they have some quality stuff, even though not all of it is their own. So I think they're just competent, like developers. As long as you give them something to do. They can come out with good stuff for Xbox, exclusive stuff. I like that.
Yeah, I like the fact that it seems like they're moving in that direction. They're a lot of the fan base are a little bit worried that they won't be able to have, the single player experiences. So we know that Playground Games likely making Fable. I would say I'm 99.99% sure of that. Now, what will Obsidian make? I don't know. Supposedly they're already working on an RPG. And it's probably close to being done. So that would be a weird situation to see what becomes of that. Because, excuse me. I know Microsoft for a fact, they let people honor their contract. So what I'm saying is if Obsidian has a deal with a publisher, and that publisher is going to post this on, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, then it's still going to do that. Because just look at what happened with Ninja Theory. They're releasing Hellblade on physical disc very soon, and that's going to be on PS4 as well. So as you can see, also they're releasing an Oculus Rift Star Wars game. So that's a little bit weird. That means all that stuff had to be in the works prior to Microsoft buying them out, which is fine. I completely get that. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome for joining us. Hit that like button if you're just now getting in here. a lot to talk about.
So-
Mooch
Wait-
Barry White is going to be back any second now.
When I was talking about them like working on Fable, I didn't mean like the whole project, like they take over. It's kind of like the coalition coming and helping on some other projects. Because if you look at, some of the histories with these first party games, you take some of these studios that specialize in certain areas, and then you maybe send a team over there to help out. So like if Playground's getting their feet wet when it comes to development of a new style of game, I think they have the world aspect just down pat, right? A+. But then they're going to be venturing off into other areas like story making and world building and like the story elements. And I think that that's where Obsidian could come in and maybe bring some people there and say, hey, we have experience in here and this is what we did here. I think that would be a cool thing, if that makes sense. You guys.
Yeah. I hear exactly what you're saying. You're saying make it assist.
Yeah, I got you.
They would be a good assist studio, I think. You know what I mean? Like you could also like send people out, just like you said. So I would actually think that would be pretty cool. And more studios is always better than less studios. And people were always, and the thing that bugs me most about this whole studio situation right now is people still go, where's the games?
Like, my God, they got no patience.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, these studios obviously are just playing Tiddlywinks. And I looked up Tiddlywinks, and it's this little game from back in the day, like seriously, they're paying these people a lot of money. They're obviously making games. So why, like, it baffles my mind why people don't think that they're making games. Like, they're obviously making games. In the case of, say, Playground Games, they're working on multiple games.
The funny thing is that they just released Forza. Calm the hell down, people. They're gonna do the next one when they're ready. And then obviously you had Compulsion Games. As soon as they got bought out, they released that game they've been working on for a while. We happy few. But people are like, oh no, not that one. Where's the new game? It's like they can't, because they just finished fixing that one, right? And then obviously with Ninja Theory, they had just released Hellblade, and then they ported it over to the Xbox and all that good stuff. So yeah, always
exactly.
busy.
How about you, Mooch?
Well, it depends on if I'm really back or not.
Oh, you're back.
You sound great.
I have no idea if I'm back or not, guys. But let's wait till the videotape clears it. Mooch Vader. I wish it was.
No, you're back, man. You're back.
You sound golden.
All right,
you do, man. Like,
good to be back. Well, you know what? I'd like to take this time to blame Chrome, which is a Google product. That's why it was. So this is what I was telling the story. But as I was telling the story, I heard snickering and chuckles.
I try to hold it back, Mooch.
That's okay. I don't appreciate it, but thank you. What I was gonna say was so with the Mac, it immediately goes to Safari. This one here, so it comes with Edge. Edge is, as we all know from having our Xboxes, is horrid. So Edge was just the browser. Well, it's true.
It's fine. It works just fine on my Surface. I have no issues at all.
It might work on the Surface because, on this computer it came with it. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So it comes with, it didn't come with it, but it's on the Microsoft when you buy Windows 10. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, so I launched Crap's link and it says, well, listen, Edge doesn't work. You can't use Edge. You got to use either Chrome or Internet Explorer. And I said, you know what? I think it's time I took the dive. So what do? I try the Chrome out because I'm like, well, YouTube's Google, the whole thing. Let's stay in the Google family. I like to stay in the family. Okay, it's an Italian thing.
Yeah.
So I go ahead and I click on it. I go through all the motions. That's why I was late, Crap, because it said to me I couldn't use the browser. I had everything all set up.
Yeah.
So then I go into Chrome, and I think Chrome was having a problem. And as people in the chat are even telling me, Mooch, don't use Chrome. Z Blackrider, where were you half hour ago? And so anyway, so I said, you know what? Wait a minute. All the settings are right. Because Crap goes, your settings are right. I'm like, I know they're right. So I go back. I get rid of Chrome, and I download Internet. Well, so you go and it says, do you want to download Internet Explorer? I say yes. And guess what it says? You already have Internet Explorer. Of course I already have Internet Explorer. I got Windows 10. So anyways, here we are, folks. We're back. Let's talk video games. What do you guys say about that?
I say, hey, we're talking about Obsidian, man. So, what's your take on that, Mooch? Are you like, and we got boom, boom, kaboom in the chat,
boom in the chat, boom.
Yeah. So, what do you think about Obsidian, man? We were thinking it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I think Obsidian is like, they're kind of like the background music that's so important. Vladimir Putin goes, why are you yelling? So
at least he doesn't sound like Barry White now.
Yeah,
so
Barry White, listen, I could have just kept recording and made millions off that.
Yeah.
No, I think Obsidian's a good. It's a great pickup if and when it does happen. Crap. I think that.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, right? I mean, nobody's walking around saying, with the Pillars of Eternity T-shirt on. So it's like, let's just call it right. Let's
Maybe
call it,
I am.
You might be.
Yeah.
You might be. But I think this is a great pickup because they have Xbox Game Pass. You've got to start putting quality people in places to make video games that come out every so often. So this is a huge pickup for that must-have. You know what I mean? Crap, that must-have employment, that force behind you to get these games out on time. So I think it's a great pick. Now, to say I'm excited about Obsidian themselves, I mean, except for what they did in New Vegas, I don't know if, I would say it's groundbreaking, but I think their work ethic and their talent is fantastic.
Yeah, Eternal Shada says a lot of news saying Playground Games have 2 studios and making a third. Do you see Microsoft announcing those 2 studios as independent under Playground, including Obsidian on X1 event, a total of 3 studios instead of 2? What I heard, and this could be wrong, but Playground will have 2 official studios with 2 separate buildings.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a third team that's going to be like R&Ding a new IP. And also it looks like they're going to be having a little bit of a break with their Horizon series as well. Just from the way it looks like Microsoft intends to launch Motorsport 8 with the launch of the Scarlett, and that would push back Horizon to year 3. So normally it'd be the second year, and with no Motorsport or Horizon next year, we're not going to have a racing game. That's so weird to think that we won't have that, but
because we got so used to it. And before Forza, they had even Project Gotham, so we always had racing games.
Yep, it's gonna feel weird.
But with the way Forza Horizon 4 is, that thing is going to be going for like years because the way they have it situated with the seasons and then the content.
Events.
Events. I think will be good.
Yeah, and even Forza Motorsport 7, they're getting new content and all that kind of good stuff. So I think they're going to be fine with it. Hey, make sure you guys hit that like button, share it out, all that great stuff. Really do appreciate it. I think Obsidian, like I said, I think they have a chance to be a good studio to help out. I think they can get those games out that are also good on PC and Xbox because that's what Eternal Pillars of Eternity is. That's a very good scoring game. And I think that they can assist other studios as well. So I think that's really big and important news as well.
Yeah, they helped with South Park. So pretty cool.
Yeah, I think, didn't they do the first one?
I think so.
Yeah, I think they helped. I don't know if they did the whole thing. But
I think they did it. I think they did South Park.
Stick of Truth. Okay, then yeah.
Yeah. I love that game. It's great. I know, Foxy, you hate RPGs for some reason, but
I watched that whole thing. That game is amazing. I just didn't like playing it.
How could you like? Oh, never mind.
I was 8. It's like I was watching an episode. It's fine. It's fine.
No, it is. It's a hilarious thing. I enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome.
I hope you got snacks for all of us, Crappy. I hope you have snacks.
Damn it. Sorry. Yeah, I know. You know what? I needed a little perk, man. I needed a sugar rush. So I was like, let me go break out the old friend Starburst. And,
my God, Starburst are back, baby.
Don't go back.
I had to. They say
Don't
once you go Starburst, you don't go back.
That doesn't even rhyme.
I know. Yeah,
sorry, that's fine.
Hey, let me talk about what a lot of people really want to talk about.
Yeah,
that is this whole xCloud thing, right? This Project xCloud stuff has everybody feeling a certain kind of way. Mostly wrong, mind you. Right. I'm the person that people would expect to flip out on this, right? Like most people would expect me to really just be like, man, it's over. It's the end of Xbox. It's the end of gaming. Phil Spencer, you suck, blah, blah, blah. But no, that ain't happening. That's just not going to happen with me. Reason being is this. They announced this a while ago. We knew they were working on this. This is not taking the place of the consoles. There's no way it could. There's no way that it could. No matter what they do, you're still talking about input lag from wherever you're at through the internet and then back again, right? Like it's a way to game probably casually. I can imagine people that take their online gaming, like the hardcore stuff, your Call of Duties, your Maddens, your Battlefields. I can imagine those people not even wanting to try this at all. Just for the fact that it's going to be input lag. When we buy TVs, Mooch, don't we always look for the ones with the least input lag? Yeah. And then you switch it to the game mode so you get even less. Like, I can't imagine people just like wanting to give up their consoles for this. Also, to the people that are like, Microsoft is going to give up, console gaming. That obviously this is their first step into just nothing but streaming, and you just scratch your head at that because Sony did this 5 years ago, and they're still doing consoles, and they just announced they're going to do another one, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But Microsoft wants to grow their business. There's only a certain number of people, believe it or not, that are interested in console or PC gaming. So how do you reach gamers beyond that? This is how Microsoft believes they can do that. Whether it'll work, hell, nobody knows. But for me personally, it's an option that I'll never use. But it is an option out there for people that maybe haven't been able to game on a console or PC, and maybe they want to try something, an actual good game on a phone for a change. I don't know. But people obviously have overreacted. Surprisingly, I haven't been that guy. So, Mooch, what is your thoughts on this? Because I know you're...
I think this is here's the thing. It's I've kind of taken just a sit. I'm sitting back. I'm reading everything on Twitter. I'm seeing what's coming out from the executive side. I'm seeing what's coming out from the gamer side. And the thing about it is, I don't see how any of us can sit here in 2018 and say that this isn't going to work. If you want to say this isn't going to work on day one, sure, I'll ride with you there. Because to be honest with you, there's going to be a lot of kinks in the wire. They got to figure a lot of stuff out, man. And you're just that's not the situation we're in right now. This is going to be a viable option for a certain customer. Okay. Let's just put it this way. If everybody for the longest time was only driving Lamborghinis and Ferraris, okay, and Bugattis and these other great cars, and then all of a sudden somebody was like, hey, look, I got a smart vehicle, which looks like a tin can with 4 tires. I can't wait to drive this thing around. Someone's like, that little thing's going to get smashed, smushed, destroyed. It's never going to work, right? Compared to these powerhouses.
Yeah.
That's the same thing here. The situation is just reversed, okay? So what you got is you got a situation where there's a lot of gamers out there that are not prepared to spend anywhere around $300, $400, $500, let alone what PC people want to play. It's not going to happen. But there's people out there that already have a phone in their pocket, and they know that they can capitalize on that. Now, everyone listening to this, and maybe everybody on the panel, is going to say, that's not for me. That's fine. That's a you problem. To be honest with you, there's a lot of people that are like, I wouldn't mind actually trying out this Gears of War. And shout out to Foxy. Foxy even said it herself before the show. She goes, my Surface is great. Like, she can take that Surface on the road, and I got news for you. She's going to play. Does she give a shit? She's such a huge Gears fan. She doesn't care if Gears is at 720p or 540p. She's playing Gears anywhere she wants to be.
Yeah. Hey, Predator, he says, crap, I just posted a vid of me playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey on Project Stream. It works. Yeah, I get it, because I've seen people post videos of them playing PlayStation Now, and that works. But what happens when it's a multiplayer game, or a game where you're adding that stress onto it, right? Like, and I get it. And that requires they say minimum 25 down.
25, yeah.
Right?
If you don't have 20, but crap, here's the thing. Let's also talk about
like I do, but it's rarely at that number. You know what I mean? Like when you pay for it, it's like, to be honest with you, mine's rarely that much.
Shouldn't we talk about natural progression of any kind of technology? Let's just,
for sure.
And I said this to you a year ago, crap, and you were like, no, it's not going to happen. And now you're coming around, right? You're coming around.
Probably.
Well, here's the thing. Your internet has gotten tremendously head over heels better.
Yeah, I went from 12 to about 30 down.
Right, and it's literally, and I know you're going to laugh when I say this, but within another year and a half, you're going to go from 30 to 100. And I know you're probably going to go no effing way, but yes, you will.
Love to.
Yes,
supposedly they're going to upload it again, upgrade it again.
There was a period of time in our history when somebody was like, no way everybody's going to have actual drinking water out of your sink. Like, people said that, okay? But it happened. And realistically, the internet is now how we do everything. There is no way. I don't care if you're watching anything from like a cartoon to the news to your favorite whatever, Walking Dead. It doesn't matter. Every commercial, whether it be banking, cars, computers, furniture, even, no matter what you're talking about, HGTV, they show people on phones with apps. You're buying, you're selling, you're talking, you're communicating, you're living. The only thing you haven't done yet is you haven't eaten. No, that's not even true. They'll order food. So, I mean, you're doing everything on that crap. You have to have the internet. So to say that you're going to be stuck with 30 and this is not a you thing, look, you don't have to use it, crap. But I bet you when this
Yeah,
thing
I'll
launches
never-
and it's
this
in
will
its
be-
prime, you don't have to use it, but you could use it.
Yeah, I mean, like that. There's that opportunity,
Right.
right? Like, but for me personally, it's not something.
I'm not
that,
excited about it either. I mean, why?
Yeah.
Anybody who has an Xbox One X or a PS4 Pro in their home, if you have one of those things in your home, this is just banter. This is just like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool function. It's like air conditioned seats in your car.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't use them. You don't really need them, but you'll take it.
Yeah. Hey, I agree. Like, look, for me personally, it's like Play Anywhere, right?
Right.
I've bought every single Xbox exclusive that's been, and they're all Play Anywhere, and I've taken advantage of that zero, right? That's what this is to me. Same thing with with the PlayStation Now, right? That's been there since what, 2014, and I played it once to try it out and record footage. And at that particular time, it was like your internet wouldn't let me play it. So yeah, I mean, and it's better now. I could probably definitely play it now, but I just have no need to. I have no
right.
Yeah, I have no like. Here's the thing. I own a PS3, a PS1, a PS2, a PS4 Pro, PSVR. So if I wanted to play something old on this PlayStation exclusive, I would just boot up one of those, right?
I'm telling you, Crap, and this is a whole other subject, but unless you're actually charging people $5 a head to come into your house of museum parts, you can go ahead and get rid of all those things.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a lot of hardware to have. You know,
do
well,
nothing with.
not all of it's hooked up, right? Like the only things that I have hooked up are a Switch,
we just.
a PS4
I think
Pro.
we need to focus on convenience. You know what I'm saying? And this is an age of convenience. If you don't have a remote control close by, you're just like, screw it, I'm not going to watch TV. Like, people have their phones. The phones are GPS now. They have the internet, everything in one. This streaming service is the future. The cloud, the all-powerful cloud, it's the future. People can run from it, hide from it. Destiny still arise, as Thanos says. You could say that it's not going to be for you, and you'll leave the ecosystem. Well, bye, because it's going to happen.
I think I'm talking about like for me personally. When it's the only option, you know what I'm saying? Like that at that point, I don't think I'm really interested in it.
But why though? Like, what's the difference? Like, if they got the input lag down to what you're playing right now currently on your system, and you have your entire games library digitally, and you can have the same experience that you have on a console, what is the off-putting situation?
Well, I don't think that they could. First of all, second of all, I like being able to play my games no matter what. You know what I mean? I know that there's a murky situation there with the licenses and stuff anyway. But for me personally, if they want to charge me $60 for a game, then I want to have something at least to show for it. The way that they do it now, it's not like that's like you're paying, like that'd be like Netflix saying, hey, you want to watch Stranger Things, you got to buy the whole season, and you know what I'm saying. And then what, like that to me is like, the
way it's working though now with these games. If you don't have the patch via internet, you can't really play the game, Like,
yeah, I get you. I get you, but it's like I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying for me, I'm talking about like especially anytime soon. And you look at it, even Phil says, hey, you need local hardware if you want a premium experience, because this is never going to really top that, basically because of the input. And you look at even where they have data centers and they have the most, there's a lot of places not even close to any of those places. You know what I'm saying? So that might never be an option for some.
Did you see the streams of Assassin's Creed Odyssey on Project Stream?
No,
I was skeptical of the whole situation, and it's a Japanese only thing, but the game looked outstanding. Like the way it was.
I'm sure like people were really hyped up about PlayStation Now for a long time. I can remember people going, "Oh, this is great." But I'm just not sure that I mean, just because that might be what some of these companies want, it's always the consumers what they want, and that should be more than evident since the fact that when the Xbox One was announced, people didn't want that.
If you look back to digital games and the sales and the fighting and the blowback from the consumers, people didn't want to buy digital games. They said, no, I want to keep my discs. I need to have my physical media. And that's across the board. You know what I'm saying? Like people said, DVDs, Blu-rays, games, I need to have my physical copies. But now look at us. It's like I myself didn't see myself being completely digital, but here I am, you know? So a lot of times with our projections, we're looking way off into the future, but we don't see what's happening on the insides when it comes to Google or Amazon or Microsoft. But like, if you look at the entire industry, there's a big push for cloud. Like, we don't know necessarily what's going on behind the scenes, but that technology is being pushed by all areas on all sides. Google's doing it, Microsoft, Amazon.
Salty,
Sony,
one of the best examples. You know, we sat here in 2013, 2014. Crap, that was the biggest debate. The biggest debate was, how dare you take my physical disc away from me? And now all of a sudden, it's like I said, it's natural progression. So this isn't necessarily a Xbox is doing it. It's where we're all going. It's going to happen. There's going to be a period of time when the cloud, and it could be 20 years from now, I don't know. There's going to be a time that the cloud is actually going to do what your box does under the TV right now. We're not there yet. We're not there yet, not even close. But realistically, someone will snicker and laugh. I mean, you know, we all got excited when Michael J. Fox put his sneakers on and they tied themselves. We thought that was a big deal, okay? So realistically, what I'm saying to you is, I mean, so when they said this is coming down the line, it's like Salty.
Well, no, to be fair, nobody's ever said this is the only option we're ever going to have.
No,
right?
like at this point in time, we can see where it's moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know the timeline there.
It could be 20 years. I can't
say it's going to be 30 years or 20 years, but that's the direction it's heading. It's heading towards an all cloud service. You're going to be able to have all your games on the fly instantly. Like, all that stuff's going to happen. We're moving towards 5G coverage across the nation of the United States. And that United States itself is not even that far advanced when it comes to internet technology.
Well, I will stick with my physical hardware for as long as possible.
Don't worry. By the time me and Salty are talking about this is implemented, you're going to have fake teeth.
It's true. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while.
Maybe I already have them.
I mean, not by choice.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think, it is way down the line. So realistically, right now, it's, again, I got to agree with Salty. I like his choice in words. It really is this right now, what they're talking about is convenience. Yeah. It's a convenience. It's to be able to take the games on the road and play them.
I hear what you're saying.
No, I'm not yelling. This is not a you.
No,
this is the whole internet thing.
No, I'm not. I don't take anything Salty or you guys. Like, this is it's strictly for me. I can only speak for myself.
Right.
Like, I am not the stream guy. I don't even like to stream, the shows and stuff for the most part. You know, I prefer to have them locally, and I still buy 4K Blu-rays because I can't stream 4K. Yeah. So
I don't. Do you guys remember when you were driving in your car and you had that fat booklet of CDs? You remember that? Like,
yeah, it was today.
Huge booklet. I don't miss that. I flip on YouTube or whatever I pick, and I can play a song on demand. Spotify. I don't miss that booklet of CDs. They get
the more you describe yourself, Crap, I keep thinking you're more like when we turn on one of those Adam Sandler movies that depicts only the 80s. Like, you're still in the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, no, and that's not a bad thing, but like, I'm kind of with Salty. I got there was something
I popped the denim collar and
you just sit on the hood and listen to Aerial Speedwagon.
I like slide across the hood, and then I got on the run. Yeah, I got the Aerial Speedwagon on there. Yeah, no, people would love to see that. I can tell you.
One of the things that I've always hoped for. Shout out to Idle Sloth, Mike. Mooch, stop yelling. It's great. I love it. In all honesty, dude, I've always wanted less wires. Like, I can't wait till we're done with wires. You know, and realistically,
I can agree with that. Definitely.
That was part of this mess in the car. You guys really don't remember. Like, it was like having the CDs in the car, and like, even when the CD era was huge. Even when the CD era was huge, there was still cars coming with tape decks. It's like, get out of here.
Yeah.
You know, like,
you know what? I have the little deal that you put on your little flip down dealie.
Yeah.
You know, you can put the CDs in there. You know, that's
true.
That's no lie. Listen, I do have Spotify that I stream.
Right. Yeah.
To my stereo in the car. But
there you go.
But I do say that for me, because I've got a really good sound system, the CD sounds so much better. Yeah. You know, if I want to, crank some Metallica or something, dude, that's got to be a CD.
Yeah, this is true. Yep.
If I want to crank that REO,
people are still rocking records and stuff. Vinyl.
Exactly. And look at this, right? Here's the thing, and good point, Foxy. Just FYI, I do have a vinyl collection as well. I Yes, I've been, and that started back when I was a kid. Yeah, like what happened was one time when I was, I think, 13, 14 years old, my parents took a trip to their home state or whatever, and my dad brought back a box of his old stuff, and he had all these vinyls, Beatles, all this great stuff, and I really got into it. And there was this place called the Record Warehouse, and I used to spend my allowance there. I used to go there all the time, and I love the art. Right, like you can frame that stuff. It's so great. It's like we lose so much as we go along into this digital age, right? Like our instruction booklets for our games. You open a game now, and it's just got a game and nothing in there. You're just like looking around. It's like, interesting, right? It's basically, like we keep losing stuff. So I will stick with that stuff.
Bringing it back to gaming, though, Crap. You know what else we've lost over the years? When you lose the physical copy, we lost all those amazing, and I know a lot of people in the chat may not remember this, but the instruction booklets that used to come in video games, man, you guys don't even know. Like
we used to they used to tell you hints in there,
the hints, the maps,
hints. They tell you what the enemies are. They tell you everything. And now we get it's just plastic. You open it up and it's like, and it's not even good plastic.
No, it's
like
that terrible plastic.
Yeah, it is just that cheap, super cheap plastic.
You can't even get the disc out. You're trying to push that middle thing in. You're like, I'm going to break the disc. You're talking to someone in your house. They're like, well, take it easy. You were like, I'm trying.
I need to install this right now. It's already midnight. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly, Fox. Like Fox, you're a physical person. What do you think?
She's converting.
This? Yeah, I'm a physical person. I like that.
Physical, yeah.
I think this whole thing that everybody's talking about, streaming in the xCloud and all that jazz, it sounds neat, sounds cool, and obviously it's gonna be for the rest of the casual gamers out there that play on their tablets, that play on their phones whenever they have a chance. So obviously this is gonna be a good thing, but it's not for everybody right now as it stands. With the tech and the hardware, not the hardware, with the tech and all that stuff that they're talking about and the internet connection, I'm not interested right now as it stands. I don't care. This is cool. It sounds nice because I have played a couple games on my phone. I don't really play on my phone. I went through the whole Pokemon phase. I went through, the Fruit Ninja. I went through all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I want to play on my console. I want to play on my TV or my monitor, So I want everything that the console can do to its full potential. That's what I want.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta say that I agree with you there. Mostly because I think that as far as just knowing that you have that piece of art, and this is a me problem too, that 4K, I just enjoy it. I like playing 4K HDR, and I know what you're gonna say. That
this will get you over all that nostalgia and all that physical stuff. Just watch an episode of Hoarders, and you'll be good. You'll be good. You know what I'm saying?
I have my own gaming room though for all my gaming stuff. If you didn't know about, you know what I'm saying, if you just the rest of the place, you wouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? I have one specific area for that, and then a lot of the stuff is just boxed up or whatever. You know what I mean? And I get it, but I still here's the thing. If I want to play an NES game, I can do that. If I want to play an Xbox 360 game, I can do that. And I think that the companies are basically, if what you guys are saying is true, are trying to say, we want you to pay full price for this game, but never have any real rights to it and be totally reliant on us and our servers and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not ready. Maybe that's just old school crap.
I remember how HD televisions, the news was rolled out. People were holding on to the past and their old TVs that were box TVs with the antennas on them. And eventually they said, hey, we're converting all over. You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? So eventually technology pushes innovation, and I'm all about innovation. This is who I am as a person. And that's what's cool that makes us all unique. Crap, you love your physical media. You love all that. I myself, I love convenience and not having all this stuff cluttered up or whatever. I'm all about pushing innovation and technology. And this is the future. This is kind of the stuff where I watch a movie and you see these flat televisions that can be rolled up and put on your wall, and you could touch the screen and throw it here, like on Minority Report and all this other stuff. It's just like stuff that you think that you would want to see in your lifetime. I want to see that in my lifetime. I want to be able to have a game library of unlimited proportions and be able to play it wherever I want to play it. And I think that that's the future. And whenever that is, that's cool. But that's what's cool about these discussions is people have different ideas. And
like, hey, I'm not gonna knock your idea if that's what you, and I think that's gonna be a legit option. I think that's gonna be a legit thing.
Yeah,
but I
awesome.
also, but I think also that there's still gonna be hardware for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely.
Like just in my opinion, and hopefully, because you can always tell, like Phil, when I watched that video when he's talking about it, he's very clear that, hey, this isn't replacing your living room stuff. We're trying to go after this other type of gamer. I get it, like, which is always weird to me because the way I look at it, if everybody's streaming, there's no more middleman. So Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo would lose money because there's no reason for these other companies like EA and Ubisoft to use them anymore if everybody's just streaming. So that's a bit of a concern.
Another thing, I don't want subscription after subscription and after another one. I don't want that. That's a thing that this might also lean towards, and it might happen, might not. But I feel like people relate those together because of Netflix and Spotify and all the other stuff. It's kind of like, I don't want 20 different things that I gotta pay. I don't want that.
Here's the deal. Like, if you add up all the physical media you're buying and you space that out over a monthly payment, it's pretty substantial, So if these companies provide value for you, like saying Netflix had to up their game and say, hey, we're making original TV shows, and now they're moving into movies because they need to make you know that you're getting value for your buck. I just think it's, with these subscription services, people forget, like if you cut cable out, cable's expensive, like you could have your package all the way up to $140 a month. You cut that out, and then you can space that out into these packages, $10 a month. It's about the same or even less. So it's just kind of, you got to look at that, what you're taking out, what you're putting in. But I think it's interesting if you look at what Microsoft is doing. It's not just happened, they're doing something for a reason. They're buying all these studios so they can make first party games, because it's exactly what Crap's saying. Well, what about the middleman? What's the motivation? Well, if that's the future and EA is going to have subscription, Activision is, then they need to have their own games that they could support on their own system. So that's the exact reason why they're building up their first party studios, is because they are pushing towards that. The Netflix of gaming, the streaming, the cloud service, all this stuff it's pointing towards the future.
I get it, but what I'm just saying is there's gonna, like, that could be potentially bad. Like the games industry has crashed before, so basically there could come a point where people go, hey, you know what? I don't want to pay a subscription to EA, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and like 40 other ones. Like, I get a couple of subscriptions. I actually lowered mine to my subscriptions down a little bit, right? And because I don't want to have to, you know what I mean? Because they just, they take it out for this and Spotify and Hulu and, Amazon. It's just like, it gets a little bit ridiculous, and it ends up costing a lot more money than it would if you're just buying the games anyway. So, like,
especially the fact that the games go on sale a lot, and those subscriptions always usually stay the same or they go up a little bit.
Well, if you're one of those people that drives around with a kayak on top of your car, this conversation's not for you. But realistically, okay, I still don't get people that are like, well, I did it, Mooch. I finally did it. I found my scissors. I cut the cable, and I'm
I cut the cord. Yes,
well, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Guess what? I'm not cutting the cable, because
you're not coming around.
I'm not coming around, Crap. Because these guys that are in business, they looked at all the cable channels that we all watch, and not just me, you, who's on the panel and who's listening, everybody. And they broke it down into subsections of channels, which they call now tiers or whatever levels you can buy them at, right? And when you do that, they know that you watch this channel and this channel. And they know that these demographic people watch this channel and this channel. So what it is if you get package one of your other favorite channels is in package 2 and 3. So you're like, I need at least 2 and 3.
That's why they always break up the sports stuff. Like, you can't get ESPN
one.
You get package
exactly.
2.
They break it into the pack. So if you like ESPNU, I got news for you. You're getting all the packages.
What if I want the Ocho? I mean,
well, the Ocho I think is free, actually. Crap.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, that's
me and Mooch get that joke, and nobody else.
Nobody else gets that.
Thank
you. But I mean, realistically, Crap, that's what happens when people all thought that this a la carte thing was great. And Stephen Roush goes, Stephen, you do think it's great?
Yeah.
Well, that's
I'll counter your argument.
The reason you counter it is because, like, in January 13th, it's 92 degrees out. You guys could take a walk. We can't. Okay. So like realistically,
It's a dry
for me,
heat there.
Yeah,
you can call it whatever you want. You know what it isn't? He doesn't have to shovel to get to his mailbox. So like, right? So here's what I do. I'm like, hey, we can take a walk and I can shovel for 2 hours first. Or, hey, look, there's a convenient little controller on the coffee table. Let me pick that up. So realistically, I think that, and I always say this, a lot of the people that give me the argument are people on the West Coast because they're like, come on, we got restaurants with windows open.
How many stations in your cable package do you actually not watch? Like, what's the percentage that you actually watch?
Good question. And I'll be honest with you. I would say I probably don't watch 80% of what I'm paying for.
So you're paying for all those channels.
Yes.
And you're watching 20%.
Did you hear what I said though? That 20% is shifted over 3 or 4 tiers, but go ahead.
That's fine. But with these a la carte stuff, if I don't like what Netflix is offering me, I don't buy it. So the thing is, I'm with you there. So I'm talking about the cable companies, not Hulu and Netflix. Yes, I agree with you. That's fine. But the reason why I ultimately cut the cord is because I was tired of paying for shit I didn't want. I look at the list. I'm like, I'm not watching all these channels. I'm watching like 10 of them that I really love and I watch. And you got rid of those 10? So like if they came to me and they're like, hey, you only watch these channels if we'll offer to you at a price and it's gonna be way less than what you're doing here because we have to pay, this and that and to get all these channels here, we have all these deals, then that's how the subscription service works. A lot of times you don't even want the shit you're buying, and that's why cutting the cord is so beautiful because it is cost savings. I save tons of money.
So ready? Let me counter your counter. So like you said, it's about $140 for all the channels, roughly average, all the channels and the internet. You get rid of. But let's use your number. You said 140. Yeah. Okay, that's not that far off for a lot of folks.
Okay.
So what I'm saying to you is that if I cut the cable, but I still need the internet, right? I mean, we know that. So so internet alone, high-speed internet, you're somewhere around $60 a month. Okay. So now I'm at $80 a month. $80 a month for the things that you said I'm only watching about 20% of, which I'll buy. Okay, I said that. I'll buy that. My whole thing is this. What am I doing? So out of that 80, roughly 20, $60. $60 a month to get rid of the cable that I have. I have 300 channels. What am I doing with my family of 4 every night for $60 for 30 days? Let me answer that. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I think for $60, I'm getting, even if it's just flipping, I don't know if you guys are Seinfeld fans, even if you just sit there and fall asleep flipping, you're at least getting something. So my point is like, realistically, I just can't see how I'm not getting, there's no way, if I take the family out for 2 games of bowling, a pizza, and then I pick up a bottle of wine for me and the missus on the way home, I'm way over 60. That's one night. Now you stay inside, you make some Orville Rottenbacher.
Rottenbacher,
okay,
huh?
Rottenbacher.
That's the new brand. Rottenbacher. Yes.
Okay, you guys don't know Rookie of the Year, guys. Another Rookie of the Year joke. But listen, there's your mathematics. Realistically, I can't take that $60 savings and stretch it over 30 days. And I think that's what it comes down to. It's not that you made a bad point.
You're specifically pointing out the deals where, hey, I sign up, I get internet, and I get a deal with like a cable package. But I know personally here with Cox, I just moved, I just signed up, I got the spiel, right? It's a weird name, right? But like it's they're trying to sell me on this situation. They're like, oh, you want high-speed internet and you want this, well, we'll give you free cable and we'll give you cable with it, and then we'll give you a landline that nobody uses. You know what I'm saying? They're throwing all this
I don't even have a landline.
Yeah, they're trying to put a landline in there to give me extra value. I'm like, why do I
have friends that fall for that stuff.
Yeah, so it's just like, and I'm like, well, what channels are in this package that you're including with my internet? It's like the standard, like basic television, like the free channels we used to get, and then some other stuff that some people watch. So not every internet provider gives you the channels that you want in those deals. A lot of times you have to sign up for the extra packages and this and that, and there's fees, and it's just, I don't know.
Hey, let me pay the bills real quick.
Go ahead. Sorry,
Phil Pyromancer says it took people a while to accept digital games and streaming games seems inevitable. But like Crap said, $60 to stream isn't easy to accept than sub-based. Yeah, like we don't know exactly what's going to come, and I think that's the question. Like, I'm not too worried about, especially short term or like midterm. Like, it's not even a question because we know that the next Xbox and the next PlayStation are coming, and we know that these consoles are probably going to last 6 to 10 years. So, I think, and I don't know if the internet's going to be up to what they say. If it's going to be good enough for that. So that's going to be interesting. And Yobi Dren says, peace, love, life. Give a round of applause for Lady Fox, Mooch, Saltiest, and Crapgamer, because why not? Love to you all. Thank you for existing. Hey, that's
Nice,
a good
Yobi.
dude right there, man.
Thank
He's a huge supporter of the show. Hooked me up with Mega Man and Assassin's Creed.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm telling you. Hey, not just me, mind you. Like, that dude is like I don't want to put him on the spot, but Mooch those things too.
Absolutely. Listen,
he's very
Michelle Alexander says, Mooch, I cut cable. My internet bill is $80 plus Prime plus Netflix plus Hulu plus Disney streaming when it comes to etc. These a la carte people live in a fantasy world. Michelle, you couldn't be more right. That's what I'm trying to say, folks.
Wait, where's this comment?
It's in the chat.
Okay, I'm reading it now.
Listen, everyone's case is a little different, Salty. You're right, because of different providers. But realistically, the math, is all relative. It's all relative. So yeah, fine. If you say to me, you know what, Mooch, I cut my cable, I got rid of Netflix, and I just have internet, you're a winner.
So what she just said, is it more than what you pay for cable? 80 plus Prime plus Netflix plus Hulu plus Disney. That's not over 140. Come on, people. Like, you got to get a better argument than that.
Well, that's not a bad argument because she doesn't have any of the NFL games. She doesn't have the playoffs. She's not going to have baseball finals. And there's ththings out there. There's definitely value. She doesn't have the Learning Channel. She doesn't have HGTV. If you're married, you have HGTV.
Yeah,
you're watching that. You're watching. How do you put plaster on a ceiling? Tell me, Salty. Tell me. No, my point is like the whole thing about it is like, right? You need, again, it comes back to the flipping. And I think sometimes a lot of the, the millennials are huge on that. I cut the cord. What do? I drive around all day. Well, good for you. I don't.
Oh, no. What do they do? They drive around all day?
Who knows? Apparently everybody, the minute they hit 18 to 21 and you're a millennial, they all go to the West Coast.
Okay, hey, Mooch, what about this comment? Most cable users pay for Prime and Netflix too. What about that one?
Say it one more time. I'm sorry.
Most cable users pay for Prime and Netflix as well, in addition to those services.
I would also buy that.
So, it is.
Buy that for $1. Here's the thing. I cut the cord, right? And then what did that get me? I was like, damn, I still want to watch some stuff, right? So I get Hulu Live TV.
Yeah.
Right. But I also pay for Netflix, Amazon Prime, and I also pay for
Isn't Prime
Spotify.
like 100, or is that like
they do it $10 a
everything?
month as well?
Oh, okay.
So
I'm thinking about like the whole everything else that they offer. Okay.
Oh, and then football season comes around, and they get you because they're like, you want Sunday ticket because you don't need a satellite for that anymore. You can watch it on your Xbox, right? So I pay another $80 a month for that. And what for? So I can watch the Cleveland Browns beat my team.
Oh, sports.
So pissed off.
Well, that was heartbreaking crap. I felt bad. Not only did you lose to them, but I mean, it was like 12-9.
12-9. It was the most boring game I've ever seen in my life.
God,
and I went to overtime and I fell asleep 3 times during it.
I think the Yankees Red Sox game had a higher total score.
I know.
He's like, I want my money back.
Geez.
I know, right? Damn. So Nick K says, I have gigabit internet with Comcast standalone with the $50 unlimited data. $205 a month. It's insane. And yes, I need the unlimited.
And see, Stephen Roush was the one arguing with me. Here's Stephen. Stephen, big fan of yours. I you're always here. Mooch, do it right. You have an Xbox. Use Cody. Get it all free. Thanks, Cody. Or excuse me, Stephen says basically, don't pay for it. Just steal it.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I'm a mooch. Okay, there's a huge difference, folks. A little Mooch 101. Mooching is always when people know where the product went. You don't take it.
Yeah,
you ask for it.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't know about any of that stuff.
Who's yelling? Crap.
I don't know about any of that stuff. Like, I know, like some people use Cody and stuff. Like, I just buy my stuff, and you know what I mean. And I stream it.
That's not my bag.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would
Mhm.
rather own it.
I'd rather stream
Yeah.
it, download it, whatever, even if I can't get a physical.
Now, for me, the best deal for like especially movies, buy the 4K Blu-ray because you get the 4K Blu-ray, the Blu-ray, and the digital copy. So that's the best way to do it, right? You get that
Yeah, for
the
you
same
and your
price as
friends.
you get that for the same price as you do, just getting the digital copy, which is a ripoff, to be honest with you. So, and here's the thing: when it comes to internet, I used to have a data cap, so it was really a moot point. Like I had to watch what I watched on Netflix, or I had to like have Netflix not stream at 720p, or like I had to cut it down. I don't know if they still allow you to do that, where you could cut your stream back to like 480 or whatever. Like, yeah, if you're streaming 720p for
I think
a
it's
half-hour
automatic now.
show, yeah, like it really eats up the data, right? And then like the digital games and stuff. For the longest time, I couldn't do anything digital, because
Where you live, it sounds like you committed a crime. It's like, no internet.
Hey.
Are you enjoying
mean,
that at 720p?
it is
Lower
Florida.
his shit.
That's all I'm saying.
Lower it.
Lower it
all
now.
I can say is when my folks moved me here when I was a kid, the first thing they did was buy a snake bite kit.
Oh, damn.
Jeez.
Yeah,
Oh,
because they
can't relate. Sorry, Crappy. I don't know what part
Yeah.
that is, but
The
that's
only
not
thing
where I'm
missing
at.
from that story was lights
Hey.
out at 9. Go ahead, Crap.
well, Foxy that lives in Miami. That's like a party town. I don't.
Of course it is.
Basically.
In
Yep.
a party town. There's a lot of things going on in that town. You know what I'm saying?
That's the only town that can get away with like the hot pink, the light blue. There's yellow all over the place.
Yeah,
There's yellow
Basically.
everywhere.
in
That's what
Miami,
naked
they're
people-
taking xCloud, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh man, too real, too real.
Oh
Very
man,
nice.
that's
Careful,
hardcore
go to the
right there,
beach
man.
after 9, guys.
Oh yeah, damn.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about this PlayStation 5. Sony confirmed this, although they didn't call it the PS5, and they also filed some patents for backwards compatibility and VSync, which would officially mean the PS5 would catch up to the Xbox One X in those two kind of terms. Very interesting that they're kind of saying, hey, it definitely needs to come out now, or it definitely needs to happen. So at this point, he says, what can I say? It's necessary to have a next generation hardware. That's per Sony's Kenichiro Yoshida. So they have a couple of Yoshidas working there.
Yeah.
No
It's like
relation, I'm
Smith.
sure. Yes. And they're going to be, definitely working on that. And they've already filed some patents and stuff like that. Very interesting that backwards compatibility is in there, because who would want that, Mooch? Who?
Only
Who?
everybody.
Yes.
Of course,
Who would
everybody
want
would want that.
Yeah, exactly.
Who?
Oh, of course. Who would want that?
Who?
Come on. I mean, who? Tell me. I mean, Mooch, what do you think about this? Are you all in on that PS5?
Of course. But listen, everybody's in on the PS5, maybe except for Salty. I mean, like, to be honest with you, I think that it's again, it's the natural progression. I don't know if I would run out the door the day. Like, I waited when PS4 came out. I believe I waited a good, I want to say 6 to 8 months before I picked one up. Maybe it was even a year. I don't remember. But I waited because, like you've stated this a number of times, that wasn't my thing. You know, that wasn't the games they came out with at launch weren't the games I wanted to play. But then as their titles grew and as things went on, I said, well, listen, plus we're also we're kind of in a different category here, Crap, because if you're going to, don't knock it till you try it, Crap.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, God forbid you've been playing games for a long time and you know what you're talking about. No, that's not good enough. You can't knock it till you try it.
Yeah.
So we've all got to go out there. We've all got to buy things. And I'll tell you something. It's part of the reason I did the PC build that I did. I want to start making videos and do more on YouTube. That's the primary. But
a video a day.
That's
a day.
never happening. And thank you, though. I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that, Crap. But no,
Dude.
maybe once a week.
Mooch
Once a
Master Race.
week.
Mooch Master Race. That might be one of the shows.
Mooch, you don't sarcastically make a console that can do
Right.
4K 60 and not put out
Sure-
videos.
Sure you do. It's
Come on.
even more sarcastic.
You know what? That is true. I
right?
remember.
I might as
here's
well build this thing, unplug it, and put it in the kitchen.
You should.
Oh,
Here's the funny. When I had mine built a couple years or a few years ago, whenever the hell it
Yeah.
was, and I gave the money to Helmer. I was like, yeah, build me something good. He's like, you want something good for gaming? I was like, yeah. He goes, are you ever going to game on it? I said, no. I remember saying I built it sarcastically to never game on it. just to do videos about consoles. I was like, yeah, I got a pretty good PC that can do 1080p 60 on pretty much any game. And I don't use it for any games. I use it to make videos to tell people how great consoles are. And that really kind of pisses people off. So, I sometimes like to do that kind of thing. But yeah, that's very cool stuff.
Yeah,
like
sometimes, crap.
You messing with people? What?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Since
not. I
when?
wouldn't say mess with people. I would just say, my opinion, and then
You
like,
making
sometimes,
fanboys cry? What? Since when?
Yeah, I mean, like they, I guess, I mean, I realistically, I love everybody, man. I appreciate everybody, but that is a little bit. What about you, Fox? I mean, you don't even have a PS4. Are you down for the PS5?
The thing, this is this. I went through this with the PS3, where it was kind of like, they have nothing I wanted at launch. I eventually got one, and then with the PS4, I'm just mooching right now. But eventually, I do want to get my own PlayStation because there are quality stuff in there now.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, there just wasn't. So that's why I let my brothers take the plunge, and I was just
at
mooching.
this point, Foxy, why wouldn't you just now with the rumors coming out, we know it's going to happen.
Oh,
you might as well wait till a PS5.
True. If that works, that's a pretty good move because then I could just catch up while they're getting newer games. I could just play the back catalog that I haven't finished. So maybe I could do that if it is back and pat.
Like you haven't beat Spider-Man yet.
Exactly.
I can understand
I was busy
why.
playing something amazing. Basically, my game of the year, Tomb Raider. I love it so much.
Exactly.
So I stopped playing Spidey, but I'm gonna get back into it though.
I mean, you'll get
swinging
back.
around.
Swing to the left, swing to the right.
Yeah, I miss that.
Swing around.
Mooch, did you beat that game yet? Did you platinum it?
Crap. Listen, I got to be honest with you. With the Columbus, I didn't do either yet.
He was building something.
I really was with the Columbus Day weekend. And honestly, building this PC and just kind of getting everything in order and a lot of other stuff going on around that. It sucks to say this. There's so many games. I have so much to catch up on with what you guys are talking about. And I didn't get a whole lot of gaming in. I'm hoping this weekend I get to catch up starting tonight. But I'll be honest with you, it's been rough. It's been a little rough for a week. Not a lot of gaming going on.
I thought for sure this was it, Moochie. I thought you were gonna get it. I thought you were gonna be like, "Hey, I finished it. Moving on to the next one."
I finished all the burrows. I finished all of that stuff. I've got all the gold trophies. I'm missing like 4 of the bronze. I need 1 more silver, and then I'm done. And really, I just have like 2 or 3 more of the short story missions.
Bronze. I hear that's Foxy's favorite club to hang out in.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah.
Hey, speaking of clubs,
right?
You know what? I never accept clubs,
crappy.
but I accepted a club crap. I don't know if you got invited to it or not. I joined Xbox Next Club for Forza.
Ooh,
did you?
nice.
No, you gotta join Crapgamer Reviews, my friend.
Did you have one?
You have a club
Yes.
too? Oh,
I didn't know you had one.
That's the real Forza Horizon 2 club. I'm not saying that the next club is bad, but I'm just saying I heard it stinks pretty bad. I'm just,
Wow.
Wow.
That's interesting.
it's not bad. It's just not. It's not on my level.
It's the
Just
same,
saying.
but different.
But still the same. Yes, and
Oh,
I'm
I
always
see
kidding.
now.
Don't
It's
go
clear.
running saying talking crap about Xbox. It's just jokes. Come on.
Somebody tweet at him right now. I'm kidding.
I know they're like, oh my god, did you hear what Crap said about Xbox? Holy crap, shots fired. No. Salty. What about you? Are you like you don't have a PS4? Does a PS5 interest you? Maybe wait out this generation, get a PS5 and then play.
Here's my approach for the whole thing, right? I wait till the end of the generation, so 5 years out, right?
Yeah.
Then I buy the PlayStation 4, and then it's like 5 years later, I buy the next PlayStation, and then all the games are dirt cheap. Boom, you buy them all right when you get the system, you're good to go.
I'm shook. I am shook right now.
Yeah.
You
That
should
is
have
a good
PlayStation
idea.
now because you're all about the future. You should get PlayStation now.
Hey, I said the future, not Gaikai garbage.
He was quality cloud shit.
Quality cloud. Well, you know what? Like, if it is backwards compatible, you could always pick up a PS5 and then play those old games. Because supposedly this new patent says it's like remasters the games, which I guess that's basically just doing what Microsoft does, but at a hardware level. Like probably, like you guys remember? Okay, so when the PS3 originally launched, the fat ones, the backwards compatible ones, they were backwards compatible, and the PS2 games upscaled, and it stopped all the jaggies and edges and stuff. It looked really good, and yeah. So yeah, and remember, and then they took away the backwards compatibility. So if they do backwards compatibility that does upscaling or whatever with a dynamic or whatever, then I think that would be pretty cool actually. But at the end of the day, it's only catching up to what Microsoft is already doing. And speaking of Sony catching up,
Oh, good segue.
PSN name
Good segue.
changes. Yes, I'm good at that. PSN name changes are coming, but they're coming with a beta. But guess what? For some reason, not every game will even work. Like, yeah, so they say there's going to be glitches and issues, and not every game.
What?
Yeah, not every game will allow you to change your name. So apparently, if you guys didn't know, their bootleg PSN was so bad because if you remember back when they got hacked years ago, they stored people's stuff in plain text files, which is just asinine. That's very basic stuff right there. They didn't encode anything, so that's why so many people lost information. Now, with this, yes, the way they recognize people is by your name. So basically, Microsoft, you might be a numbers or whatever. With Sony's, your back end is just names, right? So you're just named. If you're saltiest gamer, then that's what they know you as. So their back end is that bad, And plus,
I didn't hear that. That is insane. Like just hearing that come off the tip of your tongue, just hearing that just sounds backwards, dude.
Yes, I don't know. Exactly. So here's what they say. The name change will work with all titles that have been published after April 1st, 2018.
Oh my god.
This will include, quote unquote, a large majority of the most played PS4 games that were released before this date. Not every game and application will be compatible. Some users may also occasionally encounter issues or errors in certain games following the name change. Changing back to one's older name, which is free once the feature goes live, should fix this. Thus far, the online ID change will enter the preview program by November and officially released for all users in 2019. It's $9.99 to change it, $4.99 if you're a PlayStation Plus member. So, yeah, thoughts?
Well, I mean, so basically, crap is that it's not gonna. Is it gonna affect gameplay, or is it just gonna affect your name in prior games?
I guess just your names. I don't know if it's really going to affect gameplay.
Listen,
but
this is we've known that this has been a sore spot for Sony, right? They've not been able to tackle this problem. The fact that they're this far along, I think what they're saying is hey, we know what year it is. Hey, we know what you guys want. This is what you got. If you're gonna go play a game from, I'm making this up, from 2013 back, it may not show up. Our apologies, Yoshida. I think realistically they're saying, eventually it'll just kind of clean itself up because, as we get into the end of next generation, the end of PS5, no one's going to be like, oh my God, when I put in Metal Gear Solid 2, it still says McLovin. And you're like, oh no. So
I know, that's the joke that I use a lot. But the funny thing is, in 2007, I used to play Call of Duty on PS3 as well. And you'd run into McLovin 408, McLovin 2092, McLovin 69, McLovin 8484. Like everybody was McLovin because that was hilarious for almost a whole year.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And
hilarious.
Then you're stuck with McLovin, right?
I'm so baffled how Sony's or PlayStation's software stuff is just held up by tape and ticky tacks. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
it's so weird to me.
Honestly, it's like someone building this building, right? And the foundation's just the shittiest stuff ever, right? And it's like you get the news 5 years later, your foundation's shit, man. I don't know what to tell you, it's cracked. We could kind of put some supports in there and kind of hold the tide over, but eventually we're gonna have to just dig everything up and put a new foundation in there. And that's just the way this is. It's like their foundation, for whatever way they coded all this shit, it does not work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it is an issue with them. And that's why it hasn't changed up to this point, because it includes all this security stuff and all this other things. And there's this it's pretty much like, hey, if we're going to get this going, we got to do a completely overhaul on it. And that's why there's all these issues with old games and all this other stuff. It's pretty intriguing, actually.
So I mean, they've got to, and this could be why they're closing down old games online. If
they're getting rid of the evidence.
Yes, let's get rid of all the evidence, because your games from 2018 April from there on will work. So that's a big save right there. I mean, hey, but I do want to send a special shout out to Sony, because they invented this. And if it wasn't for them inventing, crossplay and the ability to change your name, we wouldn't have that today. So I think we owe them all a little bit of gratitude.
Yeah.
Good
Okay.
job. You guys invented it.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
I think this is great for anybody that has their gamer tag, like Nathan Drake, the only one, the only son. And now they can upgrade it. They can put and brother or something like that.
Yeah. It's exactly, and I think it's cool. I'm happy with my name on there because I wasn't an idiot when I came up with my name, right? I was like, I'm just Crap Gamer, and that's just who I am. And then of course inevitably people are like, your name suits you perfectly because you are crap and you're fat. So yeah, we do hear that occasionally, and it's all good. I can take a good little joke. Let's see. Oh, Phil Spencer, he just took a trip, Mooch. He took a trip to Japan. Yep. He's mustering up some support. What do you think?
Something.
I mean, he's doing this right before the XO event.
Yeah.
What do you think this means, Mooch? I mean, we getting megatons, right? I
I think we're going to see more and more games come over. I mean, maybe like when Nihon 2 comes out, that launches day and date with Xbox. I think he's doing some moves. No, I think he is. I think he's doing good
I think so too.
He said it when he first, he doesn't want his console to feel like a second-rate console. So, like, in order to do that, you've got to be able to get these third-party developers on board, especially the Japanese ones, with the Xbox brand. And I mean, you did a hell of a rant last Thursday on MNC show. You did a great rant where basically you said, or excuse me, it was Sunday morning. You said that basically with the Kingdom Hearts issue. It's like, well, you don't want to play Kingdom Hearts, the catch-up stories on PlayStation. Those are exclusive there. Those types of things have to be day and date on Xbox. So realistically, that's what I think he's out there doing. I think he's out there shaking hands and kissing babies, and he's doing his business. He's politicking.
Oh, yeah. I mean, don't you think it's cool, though? Like, he's not only the head of Xbox, but he's, like, got a seat at the table, and here he is taking these trips. Usually they delegate that, right? So
I think also keep in mind they're also seeing Microsoft buy up companies left and right, and they're like, you know what? Maybe they'll buy us. You never know.
I'm having a nice little chat with people in the chat. So someone goes, "Oh, Crap's getting body shamed," and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "When is it a bad thing to be a full-figured guy? I got them curves." Like, you're thick. Like, I don't know. I'm just
Doug Soap will be in
like
touch with you any day now.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I really like, for the most part, man, the chat and everybody, the fans, they're great. You know what I'm saying? They get it. It's all fun. It's funny as hell too. But yeah, I think we're gonna get some support too. I wouldn't be opposed to them doing Kingdom Hearts remasters, announcing them at XO. They've said they want to do it. Microsoft says they want to do it. We're getting Kingdom Hearts 3. And everybody's just going to be like, okay, I never played any of the original ones. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense not to get it. So I would love to see something like that come to Xbox. Some of these other games too. Sony gets these games and, they don't even have to pay for them. I think Xbox fans would support them if we get them. It's like, if we were to get a Yakuza game, we get one, 8 games in. So that probably wouldn't sell as well. Like, you got to give the fans the originals,
right.
We gotta catch up a bit, so I don't know. What do you think?
Or they could port over the exclusive titles that they do have, because I think Japan does have some Xbox exclusive stuff for them over there that we never got. So maybe they could do that, get them translated or whatever, and have them here for everybody else to try.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
Overall, more games. It's awesome.
Yeah, like there's people that are gonna like those games. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to play Jump Force. And that was on Xbox stage where it premiered.
Yeah, exactly. You want to play Jump Force? Isn't that game with like Naruto?
Mm-hmm. Naruto and Luffy.
Yeah,
Goku.
Yeah, I don't know who. I've heard of him. I just don't know. Specifically who he is exactly or what he does.
Basically, it's a whole bunch of anime characters fighting against each other, because it's not only them; they have other guys from other shows too. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice. That's cool. What about you, Salty? Are you interested in them possibly getting some of these games, more content and things like that?
If you guys remember back, Phil Spencer made a similar trip to Japan. It was like 2 years ago, a year ago. I don't know what it was. It was a year or so ago, and then we saw fruits from those labors in Monster Hunter World, I believe. And then Near Automata. I think that we're seeing those games, and we were able to play those games, and they were very successful on the platform. And now I think they're kind of expanding outward and trying to make that lineup bigger and better, So I think it's good for the platform. I think it's awesome. I think, Phil is an amazing people guy. He's personable. Like, how could you not want to have a meeting with Phil? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's cool. I like it. I think it's good for the brand, personally. So.
Yep. I agree. I even if it's something that I'm not particularly interested in, I always would never turn down content because I know what I like is not what everybody else likes and vice versa. Right. So I think this is very good stuff. And I think this is big news from Microsoft going forward. I think XO is going to be a really big event. I think we're going to get studio announcements, some of these type of game announcements. And I think that's going to be pretty awesome. I'm very, very excited about that. Hey, Mooch, guess what, man? Forza Horizon 4, over 2 million players. Yeah. They also say, just because I know people are going to jump to Game Pass, and that's fine, the fastest selling in the series as well. So
yeah,
you get two different things. I mean,
I'm not even a Forza fan crap, and let me tell you something, that game is outstanding. I put it on last night, and I'll be honest with you, I was exhausted. It was by the time I got to actually gaming last night, I was like, you know what? I can't get invested into Spider-Man doing the whole story thing to finish that up. I'm like, let me just get on something I can just game quick, enjoy something real quick. I hopped on Forza Horizon 4. Crap, I couldn't stop playing it. I mean, I sat there. I was supposed to just go on to a race. I played like 3 races and just kept hunting for all the boards to break. And I couldn't stop just having a blast. It's a beautiful game. It's so responsive. It feels good. The rumble controls are just, mwah! That shit is perfect, right? That shit's so good. Like, right? It's a New York thing. Come on,
yeah,
guys.
Gotcha.
Shit's delicious.
I thought it was something else for a second. Let's play.
Let's raid.
Let's raid.
But yeah, that sucks too because I missed my Destiny. I put Destiny. I'm at just about 500 light level, and that's
Mooch,
shitty.
Here's the thing: like before, when you were like, "Hey, maybe Forza should release earlier in the year," and I was thinking at the time, no. But I wish some of these other games, because I'll tell you, like I jumped from Spider-Man, which, as you know, I breezed through that, like mostly because I wanted to play. I was more excited for Tomb Raider, so I admit that. So I played Spider-Man, then I jumped to Tomb Raider, and then from Tomb Raider I jumped to Forza Horizon. And then from Forza Horizon went Assassin's Creed, and as well as I was trying out the new Mega Man. And also I got, I'm a wrestling fan, so I got 2K19, which just released. And obviously Blackout comes out.
That's a
so many games.
That WWE game is a professional button masher game. Congratulations.
Well, no, hold on. You're thinking of all the other ones, Mooch. This one is. Here's the thing. Like I was playing it today, and I created my character, but my character looks like he's wearing a bald cap or something. I don't know what the hell the problem. He looks like he's a giant or something. It's ridiculous. I don't know. But I take some pictures and share them on Twitter. It's funny. It's like his arms look too short for his body, but he's like 3 times the size of the other wrestlers, and it's
you
funny.
Describing Big Show? What?
Yeah, well, no, he's bigger than Big Show. It's like I tried to make him look like me, but it's like I don't know. There wasn't a handsome enough option. So,
my god!
Yes,
there it is.
But look, I like that game. It's not as like button mashing as back in the day, right? So there's grapples, and then if you grapple them, there's a thing that comes up, and they can get out of it or whatever, or you can, vice versa. It's fun though. It's really refined. This one has a campaign and everything. So, and there's voice acting. Like in the previous ones, it's always just text, and I like the fact that there's like voice acting and stuff. Hey, hit that like button, guys. Let's go ahead and see if we can, get to what we got 230. Let's get to 300 by the end of the show. So we got about a half hour or so. Let's get to, the 300 mark. But yeah. I like 2K19. I'm a big wrestling fan. I don't care who knows it. I like it. I like it. It's
so
fun.
many games. And now you're waiting for what? Red Dead, right? The next one?
Yeah, Red Dead.
Blackout, baby.
I'm hoping
24 hours.
I'm hoping to mooch Blackout. So if anybody is a crapaholic out there, mooch. I want to mooch it.
I'll tell you something. I'm afraid.
Says,
Go ahead, Crap.
yeah,
Paying the bill.
Troisky says, how good is WWA 2K10? I was all over 2K17, but I missed the 18. I like 18, but 19 is much better. Much better. It's actually got a lot more stuff to it, a lot more characters, a lot more things you can do. Now
you can beat the shit out of the RB button.
Well, Mooch, it's fun, man. I like it, man. Come on.
Crap, you're a huge WWE fan, so I can't.
I am, man. I am, and I don't even talk about it that much. But I just, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd about that stuff. What can I say? It's like, hey,
I'd rather hear about that than football.
Yeah, well, exactly, Fox, exactly. So, but yeah, there's a ton of games, and it's crazy. But 2 million. Here's the funny thing, right? Forza Horizon 3, which is like a huge success, it was only at 10 million 2 years later, and here we are with 2 million. And I know you can throw it up of Game Pass or whatever. But it's not like Microsoft doesn't want people using Game Pass, right? The idea is people like these games so much that they keep paying for Game Pass and they can keep playing the game. For me personally, I have Game Pass, but you damn well, I bought the game. I bought the $100 edition, right? Because I want the expansion passes. That VIP thing pays for itself. You get double everything. You get free cars. They're giving you so many cars. It's crazy.
Yeah.
This is like the best racing game I've ever had, despite the fact that Foxy's car cheats. And
excuse me,
her car runs you off the road, like you're driving, and then right, you're about to catch up to it. You're like right behind it, bumper to bumper. Then all of a sudden, the car like gets rocket boost or something, and it takes off. And
I hit nitrous.
Yeah, I was like, "What the hell?" And Mooch's crashes into you a lot too. I noticed that Mooch is like.
Actually, I've heard a lot of comments. I've heard a lot of comments about my car out there. So good for you, Drivatar Foxy.
Yes, exactly. Like Mooch is like just ram into you. Foxy's like, for some reason, she just takes off, and then you can't catch her. And then when you do about catch her, and you're just like, where the hell she go? Like holy crap! Like so, I turned down the difficulty. That's right, folks. I turned down the difficulty.
Whoa!
I actually turned it up. Now I'm up above average because you know what it said. The game actually told me like you're winning too much, Mooch.
Easy, yeah.
And you're overlapping, Mooch.
I'm on the 4th or 5th tier up now on difficulty, and I'm like, maybe I'm just getting the wing of it, man. But I'm loving the game.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like here's the thing: the Drivatars, some of them were a little bit, and they just seemed like once they got that lead on me, you couldn't catch up. So I was like nuts to that. And then, go ahead, Salty.
I don't know. I can't hold it back anymore, guys. I just have to tell the world how much I love this game. All right.
Yeah. And you're not even a racing fan.
My turn.
Yeah. Like, here's the deal. I'm friends with a lot of people that play similar games as me. They're not racing fans, and we're playing this game together, guys. We're having a blast. We're grouping up. We're playing this racing game as non-racing fans. So I can't even imagine what it feels like to play this game as a racing enthusiast. I mean, you guys got to have half chubs or something going on the whole time. You got to see a doctor. It's been a while, but it's just, I love this game. Playground is just outstanding at what they do.
Yeah.
It is phenomenal. I don't even know. I think I'm like 50 now in my level. I didn't even come close to that on Forza Horizon 3, and I just got that for the Hot Wheels.
Jeez, you're at a higher level than me. I think I'm
dude. I'm hitting it. I swear it was like I'm playing Hollow Knight for my review, and then it's Forza Horizon 4. That's it. Like ever since this game came out on Game Pass, let's just talk about how brilliant it is that this game's in Game Pass, because it hit, all these people that normally wouldn't buy a racing game get to play it and experience the greatness, that is Forza Horizon 4. They get hooked like I am. Yeah. So I'm going to buy the game. I wouldn't have bought it before that. That's how it works. That's how it's working for all my friends. Like Punk Kiddish, he never plays racing games. He loves it. The list goes on. So this is an outstanding game. If you haven't played it, try it. Game Pass is there. It is awesome.
I got to agree. Piggyback off that conversation. To be honest with you, a lot of people were writing me today. Like people are just like saying, "Mooch, what do you think about Forza?" And I'm like, "It's great." And they're like, "Really?" And they're like, "Yeah." They're like, "Well, maybe what I'll do, maybe I'll just pick up Game Pass and try it out." I'm like, "Do it!" Like for $9.99, you're playing a $60 game. If you like it, maybe you'll buy it and save the whatever it is, 10-15% they give off Game Pass. Yeah. Or if not, maybe you'll just buy Game Pass for the year. Either way, what Crap comes to say is again, this is all the natural progression. And don't get me wrong, guys. This took even the guys on this panel and the lady on this panel some time to actually come around to this, okay? Especially me and Crap coming from the whole like 2012 era, 2013 era, pardon me. But like, is that now we're not talking about game sales necessarily. Are you still going to have the NPD guy that's tweeting like crazy come out and say it? Yeah, he's still going to go out there and do his thing. But realistically, it is about game usage and, gamer, whatever the usage percentages they use for Game Pass. That's what they're going by. That's the metric they're using now. Am I used to it? No, not yet. But I do realize that everyone's doing it, not just Microsoft. They're all doing it. Google does it on certain aspects of what their product puts out. Amazon does it. Amazon's not looking at every time you hit the word buy and put in the cart. That's an easy metric. They're also looking at just what you scroll through, what you're shopping, what you're looking at. Those are usage numbers. Those are different metrics. And right now, if you're engaging with Forza Horizon 4 for Microsoft and for their stockholders, that's a victory. That's a win. That's a slash in the W column. So that's what they're going by. And don't get me wrong, if you're all listening to this going, "No, Mooch, you're full of it." Listen, it's not a me thing, man. I'm just telling you, that's the way things are getting measured. That's the way people are investing now. Investing is different. And investing is where the money is. And where the money is where it matters. So realistically, that's the way things are going. And it's been that way for about a good, I would say, 2 years now with Xbox. And I think you're starting to see Sony and you'll start seeing the others start to use those metrics as the years go on.
Yeah. You know what? Sony already said that they're going to use those type of metrics.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
They have
to. Yeah, they have to, because this is the way. And here's the thing. If streaming is the future, then certainly wouldn't the number of active people you have be the future?
Yep.
Yeah. Like you can't have one with the other, right? Like Sony is all about the future and active users, and we see Nintendo and Microsoft use these as well. So it's very interesting to say the least. And we're going to continue to see that kind of evolve. But 2 million is huge. Like Fox, like a lot of people maybe wouldn't think that you're into this game, but you love this game. Why don't you tell the folks what you think?
Forza? Oh my God. Well.
Yeah.
It's amazing because
there's cars in it, and you do.
Actually,
cars.
I always liked racing games since I was young. I actually play more racing games than my brothers. I know more about cars than my brothers, and they think it's funny, and they like to tell their friends and everything. So yeah, I like certain cars. I like sports cars. I like playing games. I've been playing Need for Speed since I was young, especially Need for Speed Underground. So yeah, I'm really happy with the way that Forza has evolved. I tried 2. I think that was my first Forza game was 2. And to see everything they have in this game, it's just like better than all the other games combined, if that makes any sense. Or, if people could like understand where I'm coming from. I like the way it plays. When you get in each car, you feel a difference. Yep. I like that the world is still alive. I see people racing around all the time, even if they're kind of ghosty when they pass through me or whatever. Yeah. It's always something happening. I like all the kind of races that they have in there. I love the weather. They didn't really care. I mean, at first you're like, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, weather. But you really feel a difference in this one. Well, other areas open up when the weather changes. I love it.
I think what's great too, Foxy, to add to what you're saying is the whole, like, even when you're going through a massive puddle or a huge like stream in one of the races, you feel the way that they've manipulated the feel and the rumble triggers and the way that the controller reacts, you feel the resistance, right? You can feel like you almost feel like you're getting stopped and you're sitting on your couch. It's amazing.
And a lot of people would say this, and I said this before, like the winter, I hate it, but I also like it because it drives completely different than all the other weathers. And all the other places.
Like it's the way I felt like snow in the Madden games. Loved it when we used to pick that, even as a kid. And then, like, you just never had control of the ball, and your character would just slide out of bounds all the time. But I hear
it's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Real
Awesome.
quick about the open world, how cool it is to be with the other people. I got this car. It's an old school car. I think it's out of the 1930s. I forgot what brand it is or what make, but I just got it's a legendary car. I just thought it was just regular. I was out in the driving in the world. All of a sudden, I'm getting these like in-game messages. It's like it pops up on your screen. Hey, nice car. Hey, nice car. I was getting it every like 5 seconds. So I went into the car thing and I switched it to like value. And apparently the one I have is worth like 10 million credits or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's cool. Like you can interact with people. They say nice car. They could start races. You can do interactive things there. So that's cool.
Yeah, Xbot jumped into my game and he helped me with a race, which I wasn't doing that good, but he was on first, so we won that. I was like, wow, thanks, dude.
That team aspect, the co-op is
yeah.
cool.
Whoever even heard of team racing before? Like that blows my mind. There's also events, right, where it's just like everybody get to this spot because there's this event happening, and then you all team up and your scores combine and you can win stuff that way. Holy crap! Like what they've done is definitely an achievement that's worthwhile. People can try and downplay it, but the bottom line is over 2 million people. That's probably a lot more subscribers. To Game Pass right there. That's probably a lot more people playing Forza for the first time. And this is the thing why when they do release Crackdown 3, they can release it whenever they want because people probably try it in Game Pass. Let's be honest. There's rarely going to be people that know the history of this game and go, yeah, I'm going to buy that day one. You know what I mean? Like I probably will because I'm a sucker. But, you know, for the average person, they're probably not going to do that. They're going to try it in Game Pass. If it's great, it'll have a chance to shine in Game Pass, right? You know, and for me, like I said, I have Game Pass. It expires next year, but I also happen to have bought the game because that's my favorite racing franchise. That's the game that I was most looking forward to, that and Tomb Raider this year. So I'm very happy with that. Congrats to them because I think that's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
Also a white Xbox One X Forza Horizon 4 bundle leak. What do you think about that, Mooch? Why didn't they announce that sooner? You think that's going to be an XO thing?
It's an Xbox One X.
It's an Xbox One X. It's white, and it's Forza Horizon 4.
But there's no graphic on it, right? It's just a white one.
Yes.
Well, I'm not trying to belittle it, but I mean, we knew that they had a white one out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, it's probably an XO thing. I don't know. I don't think that's a big. I don't know. Are we past that now? It's 5 years of a black one and a white one coming out. It's like, hey guys, did you know we have a white one coming out? Yeah, I know. Did you know we have a white PS4 one coming out? Yeah, we know. We got it.
It's like the Samsung Galaxy Note, right? You can pick between a black and a white one. It's not like you go to the store and be like, "Oh man, there's a white one! Holy shit, this is groundbreaking right here."
I'm just past it. Like I don't know.
Slap it on the hood. Hey, look at this baby right here. It's a white one. You want this one? Which one you want? Yeah, well, you know what? I know Mooch, you'd be into it if it was a red one. I know that, but
match my red PlayStation 4 Spider-Man edition.
Yeah, you get rid of your you got rid of your Gears Xbox One S.
Yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I'm actually more excited than the Sony fans for a PS5 because the minute that comes out, that red PS4 is gone, baby.
Oh man, that's
that thing is gone.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love that.
Wait. I keep my word, I promise. Listen, value is one thing, guys, but you know, I don't know. Candy apple red's a whole other thing. You gotta get rid of those.
Yeah, you're not wrong, man. I'm agreeing with you.
Too much.
I mean, I like the Gears ones though. I'm just saying.
Yeah. They can take it easy.
I've been playing a hell of a lot more Gears lately.
Imagine if they made an awesome black one with like the red gear just etched on top. So there's like a little bit of red in it, not the whole thing.
Hey, I think that would be kick-ass. I want to see what they do with the new Halo stuff. So, you know, I'm excited for it, you know, and I think it's going to be, pretty cool. You know, hopefully, you know, we get some custom stuff sooner rather than later. Mooch, this is something that I thought you were really going to be into. Borderlands 2 coming to PSVR, baby.
Bye. I'm on it, buddy. I'm all in. I'm day one on that. Listen, I gotta dust that VR headset off and use it. And listen, here's the thing. First of all, I think it's retailing at $50. Second of all, that's too much. But I will say this much.
How much is it too much though?
About $49. over.
Oh,
But no,
wow,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
wow,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, it's
wow.
probably 30. No, it should be. I think VR games at this point should probably be $20, $30 games. But because here's the other thing is the same. I got really excited about playing Doom VR, and I have Doom VR. The problem is crap what they're doing because they can't actually manipulate the walking yet.
Yeah,
They're doing the teleporting thing.
There never was.
There never was, right? And I mean, crap, because you like Farpoint, but in Farpoint you teleport. I call it teleport.
Well,
you jump.
Yeah, you can turn off the half step thing, and it's a little bit easier. So
okay, but nonetheless, I'm dying to try the Borderlands one because I love Borderlands. And if you don't like Borderlands,
I wish it was co-op.
So do I. It's the first thing I asked you.
Yeah,
And,
I wish.
It's not co-op, but nonetheless, I love that world. I've bought that now. What is it? Twice now? Yeah, I bought it on the Xbox 360, and then I bought the remaster on the one. I'm willing to probably. I don't know if it'll be by day one, but I'm gonna buy it at some point. That's something I would like to experience.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's cool. You know what? That world sort of screams VR.
Yeah, it seems like the VR can handle it, right? Especially the PSVR, that should be able to handle that world and look pretty damn good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. So, it is kind of exciting. I'll probably pick it up. A little bummed out that they couldn't do at least 2-person co-op. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It
does kind of take you a little bit out of it. And the warping thing, the teleporting thing, that's another thing that just takes you out of the immersion of feel like you're playing a game. Like to warp to an area isn't as much. It just feels weird. It doesn't feel natural. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, I completely
agree.
What about you? Like, I know Salty's all in on this. So, like, Salty.
Day one.
I know you don't really give a crap.
Hey, here's the deal. It's not surprising that they're selling another version of Borderlands. We had to buy it on 360, then the one, then VR. I'm sure they'll have it on the next gen consoles. But here's the deal. It's just, I think I could predict the future for Mooch. He's going to buy it. He's going to play it for like 2 hours, and then he's going to put it back on the shelf, right? I think that's the way it's going to go.
I think Salty kind of nailed it, which is why I said I can't sit here and vow to buy it on day one because it's just not gonna happen. I'm not paying $50 for the hour and a half I'm going to enjoy with it. $20, even that's bugs you for the short amount of time, but I could deal with it.
The only thing that's really got me excited about VR is that Darth Vader game that they announced that has its own story. It's within, the Star Wars universe because I'm a big nerd, I think it's going to be on Oculus, so it's going to be running good instead of PSVR. Yeah,
it's made by Ninja Theory as well.
Ninja Theory as well, they're good. So that, like, I've seen that idea and I'm all on board with that. But when it comes to the Borderlands 2 situation, they're reusing an old game that we've played for hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even go back to Borderlands because I played it so much. Like, I love the game, but I need new content. Like, if Gearbox came out and said, hey, this is a Borderlands experience, but it's something you've never, seen before, and it's a new story and it's a new this and that, that'd be awesome. Like, pick that up and play it. But you've already played Borderlands 2 how many times? It's not co-op. It's the same stuff. You're going to get bored. The VR experience will be cool in the beginning, and then you just put it back on the shelf.
No, Salty's right. Literally, whatever you decide to jump in and experience that at the price is literally to do the whoa. And once you're done with that,
like, I like it. So, like, here's the thing: I like that Doom stuff. I like Skyrim VR. Like, I'm just a VR guy. I know it's weird and wacky, and a lot of people don't, but that's just me. Like, I like this Astrobot game, or like, it's fun. It's hard to imagine being in Mario 64. Like, that's kind of what it's like. So it's underwater. Well, it's I don't know. It's weird.
But to your credit, though, crap. Think about what Salty just said. The Astrobot game is a new IP. It's a new game.
Yeah.
So it's justified. What Salt's saying that really does make a lot of sense is I can't tell you how many hours I got into Borderlands 2. Yep. To say I'm excited to go play the game that I know exactly where to go, exactly what to do, exactly what the conversation is, he's right. I'm not going to play that in its entirety. So that's why, for me, that game's got to retail at $19.99 or lower before I buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 backwards compatible? Yeah.
Crickets.
Yep. I think we said it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you, right? I like those games. 3 in particular, I'm a big fan of. I have actually, it's funny. Hellheimer rarely gets me shit. He actually bought me the collection on 360 years ago when they came out because he knows I'm a fan, and I hadn't had a chance to really play through them. This gives me a little bit of a chance because, like you with Borderlands, I know exactly what to do in Metal Gear 2 and 3.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're a Metal Gear, the thing is shame on me. I played one of it was either the very first Metal Gear or the second one in its entirety, and then after that I was done. So, and I mean, listen, it even it plays itself forward. Crap. I after playing those games and being the stealth in that game, you know me very well. I'm still not a huge fan of stealth games.
Yeah.
I don't like games.
You know what's good about those earlier games though is they're super easy stealth because there's not a lot of enemies on screen at once.
No, there's like 2.
Oh, yeah, it's like there's a handful here and there, and it's like they're not very smart. So those are much easier than newer games. Like it's funny because when I played Jade Empire, recently, within the last few years, when you get to the end, they're like, "Careful! Here comes another wave of enemies," and there was 4 people. And I just was like, where's the wave at? I just remember thinking that, like, where's the wave of enemies? Oh, the 4 people. That's the wave of enemies. I get it. Man, we can power through these last few topics. Rockstar Games, they're casting for Bully 2. Anybody interested in Bully 2?
I didn't play Bully 1.
I don't know.
You're not missing much. People like Bully.
Why does everybody like it so much?
I don't know. Like, it's super repetitive. I don't know. It's just I don't get it.
Did anybody here play it?
I played it. I'm not sure I beat it because it got super repetitive and boring.
Yeah,
but I thought it was a good game. But
I mean,
it wasn't great.
I mean, it's Rockstar, so it's not going to be bad.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. It's just out of all the games they could be making,
yeah,
this one.
Well, I mean, there's I don't think Bully gets quite the attention that Red Dead and GTA get, so they'll probably pop this thing out in a couple of years, and then they've got a team working on GTA. You know that?
Yeah, I agree. So okay,
yeah. Sorry, not too vocal on that one.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Let's see. Black Ops 4 50 gig day 1 patch.
Woo!
Mooch, what do you think about that?
Woo! That's what I think. I think give me 50 gigs, make it 100. I'll download it. I think this is for the physical. What?
That's for the physical version.
Well, I mean, regardless, everybody's eventually going to have it on there.
Yeah, but if you preload it, I guess the patch is included in that or whatever.
Well, listen, whatever. The total's the total. I'd rather talk about the game. Here's the thing. I'm playing right now. I'm excited because even on a night like last night where I was exhausted, I still put an hour and change into Forza Horizon 4. Yeah. I have no problem at all telling you guys that Friday on, and if Crap does mooch it or however he gets his hands on it,
please let me mooch it.
I'm hoping to God I'm able to. I would like to stream that game, Crap, after Crossfire.
If I can successfully mooch it, I will stream it, and we will give you a shout out or something. Whatever. Yes.
So I realistically, I'm just that's going to be the way I played the beta that weekend, the long weekend or the week it was out on PS4. It was funny, man. I would just get done playing a game and I would just be like, you know what I feel like doing? A couple rounds of Battle Royale. And I loved the feel of it. I absolutely loved the feel of it. It's got the best, in my personal opinion, it's got the tactics and the feel of like the way that the crouching and the strategy of PUBG. And then it has the amazing fast action gameplay of Fortnite. It's a great combination. I hope they keep building on it. I really do.
Yeah. What about you, Salty? Are you still all in on Blackout?
Oh, yeah, I've been there since day one. And the beta confirmed everything that I thought was going to happen with this game. Me and Mooch we were right there on the forefront.
That's right,
when
buddy.
People were dogging the game, no campaign, this and that. We said, just wait, man, wait until Treyarch gets their hands. They got that AAA money, that AAA attention, and then we're seeing those results. And you're seeing all these big streamers announce they're leaving. Ninja. Dr. Disrespect, all kinds of people are going to be migrating over to Black Ops 4. Mark my words on that. It's going to be the top played game for a while on all the major, streaming platforms, Twitch, Mixer. It's just going to be the game. It has all, just like Mooch said, it's a perfect marriage. It's like Fortnite and PUBG had a baby. If PUBG was actually a good game, and then they came together, and then they had Black Ops 4 Blackout. So
yeah. Hey, I'm very much interested in this. The thing was that I happened to have I pre-ordered Red Dead 2, right, and wrestling, and then so I would give Blackout a chance because I like the beta from what I played of it, although I couldn't play teams. But I would like to actually be able to play the full game or whatever. So hopefully that's the thing. But it is going to be probably the first more realistic battle royale game. That's more the Twitch shooter. Because I got to be honest, right? I don't like the shooting in Fortnite. It's not good. I don't like the shooting in PUBG. It's not good. It's bad. Right? Mm-hmm. It's very most of the time when I'm playing PUBG and I'm going to shoot, he switches arms. And he clicks in on the thing. You know what I mean? It's bad mechanics, right?
Yeah.
I got to be real, man. Even if you hate Call of Duty, it's always had this smooth kind of gameplay. That smooth mechanic, smooth gameplay. And I think that's what gives this a chance to really do well. Plus, you have a lot of people saying, "Hey, we're going to be leaving this game for this game or whatever." So I think that's very smart. And I think it's going to be huge, man. I think it's going to. I don't think it's going to kill Fortnite. But I think it could take potentially some of the some of the swag out of there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely won't kill Fortnite, but because they're just two different. They reach two different audiences per se.
Yeah.
Fortnite hits the young kids and then everybody else, so they'll just be up there together.
Exactly. Mooch, you'll like this. 10% of the people who played Spider-Man on the PS4 got the platinum trophy. Apparently, that's some high number. What do you think about this? Because I know you're aiming for the platinum. Is it like OCD or something?
It's a little OCD, I think, because I don't know.
I wasn't feeling that pull. I wasn't feeling that. Hey,
it's obtainable. It's tedious. It's got its boring moments, but it's obtainable. A lot of times you see whether it be the 2000 on Xbox or the trophy, the platinum. On PS4, you look at some of the remaining trophies and you're like, I'm not doing that, dude.
Yeah.
These here, you look at it and you go, well, that sucks, but that's pretty easy to do. So realistically, I think that's why that number. But 10%, it's funny. That may be high for platinum, and I'll buy that for $1. But realistically, I still think 10% is still low.
I mean, if there's 5 million out there. What is 10% of 5 million? Is that
it's still a good number, crap. Yeah. That's the thing.
But it's not. But here's the thing, though, right? When Call of Duty people go, 15% played the campaign, 15% of 20 million or 30 million is a huge number, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that doesn't that kind of make that argument?
I guess.
I don't do the maths. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody do the maths. I don't know. So.
Well, I know where you're coming from, and I just because I'm tweeting on Twitter. But no, what I was going to say to you was I'm defending your title, crap, because a lot of people that are Sony fans are like, "What's with that title?"
Oh well, what do you think it is, man? Sony fans are upset because the Xbox Scarlett is sounding better. Not only is the Xbox Scarlett sounding better from what we've heard, but the PS5, those patents aren't anything better than what the Xbox One X has. So, I mean, there you go. And then the rest, I guess, is just opinion, man. I like the studios that Microsoft is adding. I like them much, much better than what. So, as a whole, I'm not saying, they're better than Naughty Dog because that'd be foolish. But I think as a whole, Microsoft has more talent with their studios than, say, Sony has as a whole with their studios. In fact, Sony's downsized a lot of their studios this generation, and I don't think they've gotten any new ones. So Microsoft is the only one doing any kind of work there, right? Like Sony's downgraded Gorilla Cambridge. They got rid of Evolution Studios. They've gotten rid of quite a few studios, although they don't get as much flack for it. Microsoft is finally starting to kind of pick some things up, and I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
So,
I think your point, though, to kind of elaborate a little bit more, I think what you're saying, I think the potential for the studios that Microsoft and the talent that Microsoft's picked up is has the potential to outdo Sony. The problem is that a lot of Sony fans, what they'll say is that's great that, listen, take it from me, right? Take it from a Mets fan. Okay. We went out there and bought some top tier dudes years back. And on paper, we were slated to win the NL East. It didn't work out. Yeah. So when and I've said this to you a bunch of times
that's just
too,
opinion.
Crap.
That's just opinion.
And you know what? Yeah. Your opinion has some backing to it. They've gone out there and bought some big names.
They did.
Let's be honest, okay?
And they've opened, I like what Playground's doing. I put them up there with anybody. I'm looking forward to their open world RPG that's Fable.
But what, the contradiction or the other side of the coin, and again, neither side is right or wrong, is well, okay, you went and did that. Now here's the thing. They are making art, right? They are developing. They are creating something.
They're making beautiful art.
Right. But that's the thing. Are they making beautiful, fun, enjoyable for years to come art? If that's the case, your title even holds more weight. If it's not, that's where people are like, well, look, we know what Sony makes. We know what they're doing. They've put their goods out.
Yeah.
And now you guys are saying it's better. It's a wait and see at this point. But the potential is extraordinary. So I see where you're coming from.
Exactly. So it's like, here's the thing. When you come up with something, for me personally, anybody can parrot the news, right? Anybody can go, here's what's happening. Here's exactly what that title. For me, if it's something and I'm going to give my opinion on said news, that's going to be reflected in the title. And that's a little tip there for people that may be looking to do something along those lines, right? So it might not be for everybody, and I get that. You know what I mean? If it's something like, hey, Microsoft acquired a new studio, it's going to be Microsoft acquired a new studio, right? It's pretty big news. It just kind of depends on what kind of is going on. But at the end of the day, for me personally, I like what Microsoft's doing. I like their studios. I think they have better studios right now as a whole collective. Ninja Theory, if they get Obsidian, it looks like that's going to be true. A couple of studios at Playground Games. The Coalition, they're the most underrated studio going right now. What they did with Gears is nothing short of miracle. On that base Xbox One, 1080p 60 on the multiplayer, 1080p 30 locked on the single player, right? Like they were doing stuff with that piece of trash. And they never got the accolades that they should have gotten. And when you look at what they did to that with the upgrade on the X, that's like a whole different game, just what they've been able to do. So they've got some real wizards. I think Sony's got some great talent too, particularly with, Naughty Dog, obviously. Right. And also, I guess, Sony Santa Monica. Those are their two, really good studios. And then I think they have some average studios, and that's my opinion.
Honestly, if it becomes an arms race, it's a losing battle, for Sony. If Microsoft puts a priority on, studios, acquiring studios and the content like they are, they just don't have the assets to keep up. And that's just a fact. Yeah. You're seeing, the proofs in the pudding. Like they said, it's going to be a priority. They promoted Phil. They're acquiring studio after studio after studio. And once these games start pumping out, it is what it is. It's just, there's only so much money to go around, your company has so much net worth. And if you have the ability to do this stuff like Microsoft, if Microsoft wants to do this and they want to make it big and a priority in their company, they will do it. They will make it, it will do what it's supposed to do. So.
Exactly. And with that, I've gotten the gift from Mooch. That means time to close up shop. Mooch, what's going on? Can we hear? What's going on with you this week, man?
Let me tell you what's happening. We've got MNC show tomorrow on my channel, 7 p.m. Eastern time, the Mooch 78. And then we have Crossfire, 7 p.m. Eastern time, the Lord's time, on Friday night. So it's back-to-back Moochy crap.
Yes, exactly.
How do you beat that?
Just the way you guys like it. Salty, what do you got going on? I know you've got a big show tomorrow, right? You're back?
Oh yeah, baby. We got TSGP tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, immediately following your guys' show. That's going to be awesome.
Tell them Mooch and Crap sent you.
That's right,
Well, that's
and
what we always
I
say.
can't wait to get some content on my channel. Honestly, it's been a drought because, like I said, I moved. The place isn't set up. It's crazy, man. Like I'm sore from moving, but we'll get back in the swing of things. I have a review coming up for Hollow Knight. That game is outstanding. I know it doesn't get that much play because it's difficult and it's an indie game, but my God, it is really good.
Isn't that from the people that make Shovel Knight, or is that a different thing?
I don't know.
different.
It's Team Cherry. They're from Australia. I think it's different. But yeah, it's like only $13 on Xbox. And if you're a fan of the Soul series and platformers, this is like the perfect marriage. So review
Nice.
coming out on Saturday. So
Oh, nice stuff. And Foxy wasn't feeling good, so she dipped out of here about 15 minutes ago. But you guys can check out her channel. She does that stuff, and she's Lady Foxfire on Twitter as well. And with that, we will catch you guys next time. Thank you guys. Tomorrow's going to be a busy podcast filled day. Yes, and we will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Have a great one. Peace.
Peace.